So here is my presentation for the Peace Center. Before designing our Peace Centers, we were asked to do some research on Moshe Safdie's Peace Center in Washington, D.C., which is the black and white sketches you see above. And then right below it is my research for Hinduism, which is the religion that I was assigned to. It is a community-driven religion, and community being one of the main themes for my actual Peace Center design. Next is my research on the actual city of Chandigarh, including a neighborhood and V7 study on how the city actually is laid out and functions, and Le Corbusier's designs for the Capitol complex as well, and a section of the Capitol complex being the site for our Peace Center, which is right above the Palace of Assembly. Next we have process sketches and my process model. I really stuck to the idea of the Shivalik Mountains and their peaks and valleys, the Shivalik Mountains surrounding Chandigarh. And that is the main concept for my building, the peaks and the valleys. The sketches on the right upper hand side showing how our site actually connects to the rest of the Capitol complex. And here is the actual final model. The concept of my Peace Center really, again, revolves around the peak of the building, which has inspired the Shivalik Mountains, and also the ideas involved around particular religions in which we studied. The main ideas revolving around transparency, openness, and a sense of community with open spaces and lots of natural light. The idea of the mountain peaks and valleys, again, hence the ascending height and curves of the building. The peak also symbolizes the reaching towards a higher power, which is present in most religions and in the religions that we studied as well. The rising towards a higher or lighter being, or the rising towards nirvana, such as in Buddhism. The reason for the glass roof is also tied to the idea that natural light represents God or a higher being, and the atrium, which you see right in the center of the glass roof, also bringing light and natural elements to the interior where the museum spaces are located. And then directly under the atrium is the contemplation garden, which you would see straight ahead as you walked into the building, again bringing the outdoors inside. And because many religions practice some sort of meditation, sometimes in outdoor settings, and also nature scenes can be very calming, so I feel that that's also important to include inside of the building. It is also an open space for people to gather, creating again that sense of community for the Peace Center that I wanted. Here is the entrance to the building, so you would walk straight through above those curves, which are steps, and you would walk straight into the gardens and green spaces surrounding you on either side. There's also water on either side of the building, which have stepping stones, so you can actually walk over the water. The water also creates a sense of peace and tranquility, and the water brings you all the way back around the building to where the open air theater and more green spaces are located. So that circle being the open air theater and green spaces again surrounding it. This is the site plan, so you can see how it is connected to the rest of the Capitol complex. Right directly below it is the Palace of Assembly, which is the most prominent building, the building that has the big circle on top. And green spaces actually surround either side of our site. Here are the elevations. As you can see in the model, both sides of the model are exactly the same. They're very similar. So these are the elevations. These are these sections. On the right side, a long section cutting through long ways through the building, and then on the left side, a transverse section cutting short ways through the building. Here are the floor plans. On the first floor, you have museum spaces and the garden. On the second floor, you have all of our religious spaces, so where people would go to showcase different religions. Each space a different one. And then on the third floor, we have the music room and the library. The third floor being cut in half because of the way that that side of the building is the highest part. So it would cut, the glass roof cuts the way that the glass roof is designed. When you get to the third floor, that's the only space provided. So that's why the third floor is cut in half like that. And then finally, a 3D perspective. Again, talking about the third floor, as you see the glass roof curves up to the highest point of the building. So when you get to the third floor, you only have that minimal space. And this is the last drawing, the 3D perspective. And that is my Peace Center.